We grow up believing that one day things will finally get easier. That once we reach a certain level of success, once we get the promotion, the relationship, the peace, life will finally calm down. But that idea is a trap, a mirage that keeps you chasing comfort while running from growth. The truth is, nothing gets easier. The weight of life doesn't change. What changes is your capacity to carry it. What changes is you. The illusion of ease is deeply embedded in how we think. We've been conditioned to associate difficulty with something being wrong. When life feels heavy, when progress slows, when obstacles multiply, we think we've taken a wrong turn. But what if that's not true at all? What if struggle isn't a sign that something's broken, but a signal that something powerful is being built within you? The mind interprets discomfort as danger, but the soul knows it as evolution. Every challenge you face is a doorway to a greater version of yourself, and only those willing to walk through that doorway ever discover what they're truly made of. Think about it. When you were a child, learning how to walk wasn't easy. You fell countless times. Your legs wobbled, your body ached, and yet you stood up again and again. You didn't ask for it to be easier. You simply got better. The same principle applies to everything in life. Whether it's your career, your health, your mindset, or your relationships, the pattern never changes. Growth always comes dressed as difficulty. You become capable not by avoiding struggle, but by walking straight through it until it no longer controls you. The human brain is designed for adaptation. Every challenge you face sends a signal to your nervous system: change is required. Each time you push through fear, each time you show up despite uncertainty, your brain literally rewires itself to handle higher levels of pressure. It's biology's way of rewarding persistence. That's why the things that once scared you now seem small. It's not that life got easier, it's that you became more capable of handling it. But most people never experience that transformation because they stop too soon. The moment the challenge appears, they interpret it as a wall instead of a mirror. A wall means it's blocking you. A mirror means it's showing you where you still need to grow. The illusion of ease keeps us stuck because it tells us we shouldn't have to struggle. It whispers that life should be smooth, that peace comes from comfort, but comfort is the slow death of the spirit. Comfort keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. Ease is not the goal. Expansion is, and expansion requires resistance. The same way a muscle grows only when it tears, your consciousness expands only when it's challenged. Without that resistance, you would remain stagnant, comfortable, perhaps, but unfulfilled. The human spirit was not designed for ease. It was designed for evolution. And evolution is always uncomfortable. If you could see what's happening within you each time you face hardship, you'd never wish it away. Every struggle strengthens your emotional endurance. Every setback sharpens your mental focus. Every failure trains your nervous system to remain calm under pressure. When you begin to understand this, you no longer fear difficulty. You respect it. You start to recognize it as the sculptor shaping your inner power. Imagine a diamond. Before it shines, it is nothing but carbon under immense pressure. It doesn't become valuable because the pressure disappears. It becomes valuable because it endures it. You are no different. The pressure you feel is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to reveal you. Each obstacle that stands in your way is a part of your training. The challenges are not random. They are perfectly designed to prepare you for the next version of your life. But to experience that transformation, you must let go of the illusion that someday it will all get easy. You must stop waiting for the world to calm down, for circumstances to align, for the weight to lift. Because the truth is, life will continue to test you. Every time you level up, the challenges will evolve too. The game doesn't get easier, it just becomes more complex. And that's how it's supposed to be. The higher you climb, the stronger the wind blows. But that wind isn't there to push you down. It's there to help you build wings. When you stop expecting ease, you start embracing evolution. You stop seeing obstacles as punishments and start seeing them as invitations to grow. The illusion fades and reality sets in. You were never meant to coast through life. You were meant to create through it. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise isn't that one had fewer problems. It's that one learned how to meet their problems with a stronger, more focused, more conscious version of themselves. Growth is not comfortable because it asks you to shed the parts of yourself that can't go where you're headed. And that shedding can feel painful, but that pain is sacred. It's the evidence that you're becoming something more. Every time you face resistance, you are standing at the edge of your old self. And when you choose to move forward, despite the fear, despite the fatigue, you are literally birthing a new version of you. Nothing gets easier, and that's the point. Because if it did, you'd never need to evolve. You'd never know how powerful you truly are. The illusion of ease fades the moment you realize that life's weight doesn't change, you do. And once you see that, every challenge becomes an opportunity to become something greater than you were yesterday. Getting better is not an event. It's not something that happens once you've reached a certain goal, or once life decides to give you a break. Getting better is a process, a continuous unfolding of who you are becoming through every challenge, every repetition, every small choice that no one sees. It's not glamorous. It's not instant. It's steady, invisible work happening beneath the surface, in the space between effort and awareness. And that process begins the moment you stop fighting it and start allowing yourself to evolve through it. The process of getting better starts with awareness, the understanding that the discomfort you feel is not punishment, but preparation. Most people resist growth because they associate discomfort with failure. They think pain means they're doing something wrong. But the truth is, the pain of growth is different from the pain of suffering. Suffering comes from resistance. Growth comes from acceptance. When you stop running from discomfort and instead decide to stay with it, to observe it, to learn from it, something powerful begins to happen inside you. You start rewiring your relationship with struggle. Every time you face a challenge, your nervous system reacts. It sends signals of fear, stress, and uncertainty. But when you consciously decide to breathe through it, to stay calm in the middle of it, you teach your body a new pattern. You're telling your brain, this pressure doesn't control me. Over time, that repetition reshapes your inner world. What once caused panic now becomes manageable. What once made you retreat now becomes familiar. That's how you get better, not by avoiding struggle, but by learning how to remain conscious inside it. Getting better means you begin to respond instead of react. Reaction is automatic. It's a product of old programming. But response comes from awareness, from your ability to pause and choose differently. When something uncomfortable happens, your old self wants to fight it, escape it, or numb it. But the stronger self, the one you're becoming, pauses, breathes, and observes. It doesn't get lost in the noise. It chooses to stay present and learn from the experience instead of resisting it. That's how transformation happens, not through control, but through consciousness. The process of getting better also requires patience, because the mind loves quick results. It wants to see proof that the effort is working. But true transformation doesn't always give immediate feedback. Sometimes it feels like nothing's changing, but deep within, your brain and body are synchronizing into a new state of being. Every repetition, every disciplined choice, every time you show up when it's hard, you're reinforcing the neural circuits of strength and resilience. It's like laying down a new pathway in the brain. The more you walk it, the stronger it becomes. That's why the process of getting better often feels repetitive. You face similar challenges, familiar triggers, recurring doubts. And you might wonder, why am I still dealing with this? But that repetition is not failure, it's refinement. Life gives you the same lessons in different forms until you've fully embodied the wisdom they carry. Getting better means learning to see that pattern, to recognize that each experience is another opportunity to master your inner response. The body is the reflection of the mind. When the mind believes change is hard, the body resists it. But when the mind accepts growth as natural, the body relaxes into it. Getting better requires you to align both your thoughts and your emotions with the identity you're becoming. That means feeling the discomfort without collapsing into it, thinking greater than your current circumstances, and imagining the version of you who already lives with calm, clarity, and strength. When you think and feel in alignment with that version, your brain begins to believe it's real, and your body follows. That's how you recondition your identity. This process doesn't happen overnight. It's the daily practice of awareness. It's waking up and choosing not to be ruled by the same emotions that controlled you yesterday. It's deciding to move differently, speak differently, think differently, even when no one else notices. Getting better means showing up for yourself in the smallest moment. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is a skill forged through repetition, through the willingness to rise after falling, through the quiet, unseen decisions to keep going when your mind tells you to stop. It's not inherited, it's cultivated. The strongest people you know weren't handed strength. They developed it through experience, through pain, through the discipline of refusing to give up. Resilience is the ability to stay centered when everything around you is unstable, to remain grounded when life shakes you, and to believe in yourself even when nothing seems certain. Most people think resilience is a trait that some are blessed with and others are not. But in reality, resilience is the result of how you respond to difficulty. Every time life tests you, you are being given an opportunity to train your mind to see beyond the immediate pain. Your brain learns through repetition. When you face adversity and stay present through it, your neural pathways strengthen. The same way a muscle gets stronger when exposed to resistance, your mind becomes more resilient when you expose it to challenge. That's why running from discomfort keeps you weak. Avoiding challenge doesn't protect you. It limits your potential. Resilience begins the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift in perspective turns pain into power. The moment you stop resisting the lesson, the struggle begins to serve you. Every difficult experience carries wisdom, but that wisdom only reveals itself when you stay conscious through the discomfort. When you feel overwhelmed, the key is not to escape the feeling, but to observe it. To notice where it lives in your body, to breathe into it, to allow it without judgment. That awareness dissolves resistance, and in that space, you begin to grow stronger. The truth is, resilience isn't built when things go right, it's built when everything seems to go wrong. It's not developed in moments of comfort. It's forged in moments of chaos. The universe doesn't test your strength to break you. It tests it to awaken you. Every obstacle that appears is an invitation to expand your capacity. The discomfort you feel isn't a signal to retreat. It's a sign that you're moving beyond who you used to be. Each time you endure pressure without losing faith, your identity evolves. You stop identifying as the victim of circumstances and begin embodying the creator of your reality. Resilience is also emotional regulation in action. It's the art of feeling deeply but not being controlled by your emotions. It's understanding that emotions are energy. They move, they shift, they flow, and you have the power to direct that energy consciously. When pain arrives, most people let it define them. They attach to it, replay it, and reinforce it. But when you practice resilience, you witness it without becoming it. You say to yourself, "This feeling is temporary, but the strength I'm building through it will last." That's the mindset that transforms pain into growth. Think about the strongest people in history. Leaders, innovators, creators. They all faced immense struggle. They didn't become great because life was easy. They became great because they learned how to master difficulty. The difference between those who collapse and those who rise lies in their perception of pain. One sees it as an end. The other sees it as a beginning. Resilient people don't avoid failure. They extract lessons from it. They understand that each failure is just feedback, information guiding them toward a higher level of consciousness. Building resilience also requires consistency. You cannot strengthen your mind by doing something once. It's a daily practice, showing up even when you don't feel like it. Keeping promises to yourself, staying grounded in discipline. Each time you follow through despite fatigue, you reinforce the identity of someone who finishes what they start. Over time, that identity becomes your default state. Resilience becomes automatic, not because life gets easier, but because you've trained your mind to remain calm and focused under pressure. Resilience is built through self-trust. Every time you keep your word, Every time you show yourself that you can handle what you once thought you couldn't, your confidence grows. You stop depending on external validation and start relying on your internal foundation. And that's true power. When your stability no longer depends on the world around you, but comes from within you. When you reach that point, you don't fear challenges anymore. You welcome them, knowing they are the gym where your spirit trains. Resilience is also about perspective. When you zoom out, you begin to see that everything that once felt impossible was just preparation. Every heartbreak, every setback, every disappointment was sculpting your strength. The moments that felt like breaking points were actually building points. The universe was never against you. It was building you into someone capable of more. But you can only see that truth when you stop labeling your pain as punishment and start recognizing it as purpose. When you become resilient, you stop being reactive. Life no longer pulls you in every direction because you've trained your mind to stay steady. You realize that peace doesn't come from everything being perfect. It comes from your ability to remain balanced when nothing is. That is the essence of resilience. To live with a mind so steady that chaos loses its power to control you. You may still feel fear, doubt, or sadness, but you no longer drown in them. You observe them, breathe through them, and let them pass. Resilience, then, is not the absence of emotion. It's the mastery of emotion. It's the inner knowing that you are strong enough to feel everything and still move forward. It's not something you wait to acquire. It's something you practice daily. Every challenge is a training ground. Every setback is an invitation. Every hardship is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can rise higher than before. That is how resilience becomes your natural state, through repetition, awareness, and the unshakable decision to keep becoming better no matter how hard it gets. Becoming the version of you who can handle it. All is not about pretending to be strong or forcing yourself to suppress emotion. It's about evolving into a person whose inner strength no longer depends on what's happening around them. It's about developing a level of awareness so powerful that no external chaos can disrupt your inner peace. When you reach that point, you stop trying to control the world and you start mastering your internal world. That's where true strength is born. The version of you who can handle anything already exists within you. It's not something you need to create. It's something you need to uncover. Every time you face a challenge, that version is calling you forward. Every difficult moment is an invitation to align with the part of you that already knows how to move through it with clarity, calm, and power. But most people never meet that version of themselves because they spend their lives running from the experiences that would reveal it. They avoid discomfort, they numb their emotions, they wait for perfect conditions, and in doing so, they keep repeating the same cycles of frustration and limitation. The process of becoming the stronger version of yourself begins when you stop identifying with the old self, the one built from fear, doubt, and limitation. The old self reacts. The new self responds. The old self seeks comfort. The new self seeks growth. The old self waits for things to get easier. The new self becomes stronger in the midst of difficulty. Transformation starts the moment you stop seeing challenges as something happening to you, and start seeing them as something happening for you. The universe is not trying to test your limits, it's trying to expand them. Every experience is perfectly orchestrated to reveal your potential. To handle it all means to rise above emotional reactivity. It means learning to regulate your internal state regardless of external circumstances. When something unexpected happens, most people let their emotions take control. Anger, frustration, fear, and anxiety flood their system. But the person who is mentally strong doesn't react out of habit. They pause, breathe, and choose how to respond. That pause is power. That pause is the space where transformation happens. In that stillness, your higher mind can step in and remind you that you are not the emotion. You're the awareness observing it. You become the version of yourself who can handle everything when you start training your mind and body to work together instead of against each other. Your mind might say, "I can't do this," but your body remembers it's already survived so much. When you align the two through intention, awareness, and discipline, you begin to build unshakable resilience. You stop being a prisoner to your thoughts and start becoming the master of your energy. Every breath becomes a reminder that you are not powerless. You are in control of how you choose to experience the moment. This version of you doesn't run from pain, it understands it. Pain becomes information, a message guiding you toward growth. You stop labeling experiences as good or bad and begin seeing them as necessary steps in your evolution. The people who frustrate you are showing you where you still need patience. The failures that disappoint you are showing you where you still need faith. The moments that feel unfair are showing you where you still need surrender. Life stops being a series of problems to fix and becomes a field of lessons to master. Becoming the version of you who can handle it all also means releasing the old stories that limit you.